So this morning we're going to be discussing something, and it's not about tech. It's not about AI. It's not about automation. It's about accusations. So we're going to be talking about how comfortably people nowadays now make accusations. Now, I've been somebody who has been accused both from home to business to school. Like I've practically seen what false accusations look like. So sometimes when I want to say my own opinion, like if I hear somebody did something, I don't believe it. People are like, "Oh, everybody's saying he did it," and I'm like, I don't believe it. I want to hear from the other side. And sometimes people feel like I'm siding this other person. Maybe, oh, you're such a horrible person. Can't you see everybody? Why must your own be different? And so I was worried because of what people will say, and so I don't share most of my opinion. So let me start with the recent matter that has been happening. So you probably saw this case. Let me share it with you on Instablog, on Gossip Mill, I think so. And this is a very, I'm trying to share my screen now. And this is a very popular case. Saw this case the other day, and the case is actually going extremely viral. So I'm going to give you a context of the case, and we'll not talk much about accusation. But this is the case over here. When I first saw this case, honestly, um I was a bit skeptical, right? But it's an accusation of rape or molestation rather. So I don't know if this video will be flagged because I'm using these words. I don't even know what is wrong with social media again. Don't even let people say things the way it oversense. Well, if they take it down, no problem. Um, this man here was accused of rape, and it turned out that his wife, he had issues with his wife. So for most men, please, when you have issues with your wife, try as much as possible not to go into domestic violence. It spoils a whole lot of things. So he started beating his wife, right? And according to the story, the wife was a chronic cheat. You know those kind of women that they sleep with people in the area. People know them very well. And the man goes to outside work. So once in a while, he travels, his wife is home for days, and he comes back. But each time he comes back, he hears things like, "We see your wife for here, we see your wife for there." And he would confront her, "Let me see your phone," or blah, 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 blah. And it ends up into a fight where he beats her. However, it has gotten to a point where Shina said, "You know what? I would do you something. Nge Megi in here, because they're from, Igbo." And the first thing she thought about doing was to go and accuse him of SA her kids, which is his own kids as well. If you go listen to this video, you will see how the police officers at the police station, they didn't even let this man speak. See, to an extent, I hate the Nigerian justice system in a way because it is one without fair hearing. Once they hear something from you, most of the time they conclude. So they brought this man. First of all, they videoed him from the house, put him on handcuff. This is somebody you have not done a test on the kids, like you have not taken these children to the hospital to know if they were actually assaulted in any way. But here they were, had him on handcuff. They brought him to the what is it called again, station, and they started confronting him like, "Oh, you did this." He said, "No, he didn't." They said, "Come on, shut up, right? I'm there." Like, "Shut up." That's what your wife said. Write it there. And he was saying, "No, it was a mess on me." Now, guess what? It turned out that because he's always catching his wife and always having this confrontation all the time, now the woman have felt this is the best way she can mend his life. Is this the first time I'm hearing something like this? No. The year 2021, there was a couple in Canada. Now, this lady, she was a nurse in Canada, right? He brought his wife to Canada. And while they were in Canada for quite some time, she started seeing someone else. Now, you all know what it feels like when you want to divorce. So sometimes when divorce comes in, it's not really as easy as it is, right? And sometimes it could be messy. So one day, this lady, which is another story, not this one, right? The one I knew before now, because when this matter came in, I was seeing it in front of somebody, and I said, I think this man like might be innocent though. Because when they held the man, like I don't know, but I'm somebody as well who loves like studying. So most of what I do is to, study psychology and a bit of criminology. Like I like being able to understand how humans think, psychoanalysis. It's something that I have passion for, right? And so when I saw the first video on this case, which is this particular one here, I quickly remembered the story I knew before. So it's so funny that the same thing is repeating itself again, right? Again. But this other story, the man's life was actually messed up. So what happened? His wife, which was having an affair with someone in Canada, felt she didn't want to go on with the marriage again. So why don't you file a divorce, right? No, she didn't do that. You can Google the story, it's a very popular story. So somehow she was able to convince her daughters to lie that their father was essaying them. And they took up the case, they, raised it up. The daughters alleged that their father was doing this, and the father was, remanded. Now, the father was finally, I don't really want to go much into the details, but finally the father was vindicated. One of the daughters couldn't have her conscience, you know, like she couldn't find it, like according to the story, she was uncomfortable because this strange man comes to their house, stays with their mother. She now got to understood that it's not just that they put their father away, but they did that to let another man come in. So she spoke to their counselor in school, and counselor had advised her that, see, if you know your dad is in nonsense, maybe you should speak up. So the man spoke up, the girl spoke up, and the man was released. Now, this is story two I'm seeing in my life. So imagine me seeing this kind of thing happen two times, right? Now, although this one was the second one that I've actually seen and follow up. Now, why am I making this video? I feel like sometimes, no matter how much and how bad something is, people deserve a fair hearing. It's so very, very painful that we are now in a society where once somebody is being accused of a gruesome crime, everybody just wants to be in that crowd, right? This guy, very dark man. The major reason I had liked his content at the beginning was the fact that everybody's saying this because people like being sentimental. Like the whole country, they like being in one opinion, right? So it looks like they're united, except when the time for reunity stands. You start knowing everybody's from different tribe, right? But they like following a particular, you know, um, narrative rather. So I liked the fact he could come in there and he could try to listen to this other side or try to get the other side of the story. And I wish more Nigerians could look at things in a way more critical, like from two different parts. Let's take the case with Victor Ibili. So if you don't really know, if you're not on X, there is this guy called Victor Ibili, if I'm not mistaken. So I think I have that girl's ID in my head. That is how bad it is. Oh, I'm not logged in. Let me try to log in. I have this girl's username in my head. So what happened? Okay, this girl happened to meet ex. Don't ask me for two factor. Let me zoom in more. Okay, so I'm going to search for. Her name is Chomi. Chio. Chomi ba. No, I have that girl's name off now. I don't. Has she changed that username? Let me see if I got it correctly. I'm trying to see if I got it. If I don't find, I'll just search for Victor Ebele and I'll get it. So let me go to Victor Ebele. So what happened? Just a last story. Victor Ibile, who happens to be, let me share the Frank Ibile and Victor Ibile. It's a very popular case. This happened about let me look for Frank Ibile. This happened about a few weeks ago, or a few months ago rather. A girl came on social media. This is her. Sichiomi. I think she has deactivated her account. Oh, she has opened it finally. What an infantry. This girl you see over here had what we would call a one night stand with a guy. So she happened to meet this guy whose brother was a footballer, according to the story. So you can follow up the story. I think it was on Insta blog. Now I have a name. Let me look for CC Chomi. CC Chomi. It's been long I searched about her a bit. I was following the whole thing up. Then I just forgot to spell her name correctly. Okay, so I'm going to get into this case so you'll be able to understand what's at play. So this girl you see over here, This one now, this one you see her face over here. She managed to meet a guy whose brother was a footballer. Something happened. They, had, let me go to the media section. They had normal things adults do have. And this girl came online to tag Instablog that she's currently at the Guaripa police station, that they're trying to hide justice, that somebody had, you know, blah blah blah. What is it called again? Somebody had gripped her. That the guy said he would use his money. His family has money, and he would, she would actually deal with him, right? And the story moved on. The girl was like, "You don't know. Look at it over here now. Are you what getting shut up job? Rapist under 20 my foot. You will lose your license. You will lose your license. F, the other one. I'm waiting for you because I'm an orphan. Blah blah blah. Normal, victim narrative. But however, it turned out that this guy never gripped this girl. So what happened was he met her, got her going. They had the things adults would have. He gave her some money. According to the story, they did one. He wanted to do again, and according to what she later said, she didn't let him have his way for the second time. They got going. She told him, oh, she thinks she has missed, the normal things women see every month, and the guy wasn't maybe forthcoming, and she went into threats. Now, I'm actually bringing up the story because when she started her campaign, she had tagged the guy. She had tagged the Guaripa police station here in Abuja, and she had, okay, this is one of the carefree talk. That's why I couldn't for the second time, because your energy was desperate for a. But guess what? She came to say that they gripped her. Thanked the police station, said justice was not being served to her. They were trying to do the case anyhow. You don't want to see what Nigerians were saying. Nigerians were calling that they should take this boy right now. They should throw him into jail. They should deal with him. You shouldn't see him light. They should use these people as a scapegoat. So, oh my God of mercy. Have you even heard from this guy? Do you know the only thing that saved this guy? When she was making that whole threat, he happened to have taken screenshots. Because according to the story, the chat was on disappearing message. So you know how disappearing message work. It goes out most times. But he was able to take a screenshot. So that screenshot he took was what came to his rescue. If this guy had not taking a screenshot, I guess nobody would believe the guy. You know the way we act in Nigeria now, too much sentiment. They would have thrown that boy's future into the gutter. And for the rest of his life, do you know how pain is going to be? Now, I told you at the beginning that I've seen lots of things like this, especially for me. I've been accused a whole lot of times. So it feels like because of me being accused, I've been in positions where I'm being told I did something I can't even think of ever doing. Like something I'm not even capable of doing. And somebody says it with so much seriousness that people around them are actually now victimizing me, boycotting me, extraditing me, orchestrating, like, how do I, what word will I use? They kind of overjudge me, and they don't want to hear from me. And the worst part is when you actually try to explain, somehow they make it look like guilty conscience is what is making you explain. Now, like if you go through the post I was trying to show you on Instagram, if you go through the first time they had posted that man for essaying his kids, you would see women on the comment section saying things like, oh, guilty man, look at the way he's being guilty. Look at them. You can see he's guilty from the way he's talking. Coming from someone that they finally proved beyond all reasonable doubts that none of those things actually happened. Now, I guess if I know these comments will go on, blah, 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 blah. Okay, these are people that are beginning to say the man is in nonsense. But let's look for where someone said, the men look, no, did you take the kids to doctor? Finally, a woman is saying something reasonable. There's one that I said that said typical reaction of a guilty man. Just imagine. How is he a guilty man? Did you see any evidence? Was there any test conducted on the child? But you can see, this. It's so obvious. God of mercy. Who is dating these people? Who is dating this kind of women? Run, oh.